Well, hi there. We had a little project on our hands today here. This is my father-in-law's neighbor's trailer that father-in-law is borrowing for the maple sapping season. Makes it easier to get up to the 40, collect the sap and all. But the lights on the trailer are blinking. They're kind of intermittent and they work sometimes and they don't work sometimes. So I said, hey, I could probably fix that for you. So we pulled it in to the shop here and I'm gonna see if I can figure it out. So that way if father-in-law or his neighbor wants to know what was wrong, they can know what was wrong. And if you have a trailer with lights that are blinking intermittently, maybe you'll learn something that can help you out too. All right, we're gonna start by using my battery charger here, but this thing's kind of slick. I can hold down this button, I don't know, count to 5, something like that, and then boom, all of a sudden, it's a 12-volt supply, and I can use this to go ahead and test out wires and see what happens. So I'll get that hooked up and we'll see what's what. So I'll hook this up to here. This here is usually going to be your negative or your ground on these. I should say usually, it's supposed to be, right? And then this first one is supposed to be your running lights. So if I hook that up, I should have running lights down there. And I don't have running lights. And I don't have running lights. And I don't have running lights. I got nothing. I got a whole bunch of nothing. Okay, you're my eyes on this. Let me know if you see anything. That should be left turn signal. You got anything? That should be the right turn signal. All right, well that was a whole lot of nothing. Let's disconnect the electrical stuff there so we don't make unintended sparks. And then see if we can start chasing and see where the problem is. My theory is we're looking at it. I bet it's right in there somewhere. So now let's just start feeling our way down here. Good, so let's look at this here. This is kind of stiff. Something's going on in there. I don't know what that is, but look at that. I think that's just nature and squirrels. The wires look good. This is particularly stout. Ooh, electrical tape. That's usually a sign. And scrolling down the rest of this thing here. Wire loom is old and tired, but it all looks like wires. Let's look in here. I think that means something. Oh, look at that, electrical connections. I bet you that's what it is. Oh, look at there. I think I just pulled a wire right out of that. Look at, and anytime you get color, like brown on a wire, that's usually not a good sign either. Where's our missing? Oh yeah, I bet I just pulled that out. Okay, so that's obviously not good. Oh, and we're in luck because all these wires are the same color, so I don't have to worry about mixing them up. All right, let's do this. Let's hope this is all in focus too. So we're gonna start, man, that wire loom has seen better days. All right, let's just start by cutting all this stuff out. Let's call this yellow and yellow. Yeah, colors all match. I'm a little curious as to why. Hopefully that's just schmoo, right? I don't know. And it's not like it gets... Well, there could have been another electrical problem that caused stuff. I think that's just schmoo. I don't think... Yeah, you know what? That's not burned through. I think that's just road scuzz or something. Let's go with that. Wow. Yep, that answers my question. How about this one? Oh, that's in there good. But, oh. Well, I was debating whether I should replace all of these, but let's replace all of these. There, they won't miss 4 inches, 3 inches, something like that. All right. we're on the home stretch. You want to strip these back enough, but not too much. And for me, that's about just right. Okay, now let's take a look in the box. See what we want to use. Oh, looky here. I've got the Rich Boy ones. Wow. Yeah, these have the heat shrink built into them. Let's do that, because I have more than 4. So let's do it. We're going Rich Boy on this thing. Blue, meet blue, right? Blue dot, blue connector, blue dot. And you just give her a good, hi-ya, and that should do it. Yep. Right, I'm just gonna repeat that for all of these. If I didn't have these fancy Rich Boy fittings with the heat shrink and all, I would have just used these guys here, right? And they're not anywhere near as waterproof or anything, and you can run into corrosion problems. But you can get yourself some of this plain old silicone, and this is important, right down here, 100% silicone. You want 100% silicone because it doesn't have all these other additives that can actually cause corrosion on your wires. I mean, you could go into your cupboard and grab some kind of weird caulk or something that you have in there, and you could use that, and it'll certainly keep the water out. But some of them have acids and stuff in them, and that can cause problems with your electrical connection down the road. So this is 100% silicone, and I actually keep this in my electrical drawer because it's about the only thing I use it for. I have my other favorite caulking things for other applications, but this is for electrical in my book. So all these guys are put together. Now we just got to match up our colors. And I mean, if you want to watch along, you can watch along. And if you don't, maybe I'll put up some pictures of ducks and you can watch that. Now we get to do our heat shrink. All right, and the secret with heat shrink is you want to get it hot, but not too hot. You can use a lighter, you can use a torch, you can use a heat gun. You might even be able to use a hair dryer. If you have hair like me, you don't really have a hair dryer though. This isn't going to be very interesting, so I might show some pictures of fish while I do this. Those guys are all good. They're tight. Let's see here. Can you see this? They're all tight up around the end. Man, this is totally the right way to do this too. Yep, everything looks nice and good and snug in there. All right, just got to tuck it back away. No, I'm not going to tuck it back away. I'm going to test this before I make it all pretty. So let's hook the juice back up and see what happens. Okay, so we come back over here, plug the charger in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Now we're in our 12 volt supply. I kind of like this charger. That's pretty slick. I don't have to go grab a battery or something to make it work. Survey says nothing. Well, that's not very exciting. Let's check the other ones. Go back there and look for me, okay? This should be running lights. This should be one of the turn signals. And this should be the other turn signal. Well, crap. There's some rule or principle that something like, all things considered, the most obvious answer is the answer. Something like that. Bernoulli or somebody. It's not Bernoulli. Anyway, that was pretty obvious. I think that might have been one of the problems. So let's keep on going and see if we can find problem number 2. All right, let's follow this wire and see if we find something that makes sense. Because if you go down here, this is all just feels like wire. That goes into the frame, and this is sealed up and closed, so it goes that way. So we're going that way. Oh, just imagine when I'm old. Okay, so this is that frame, and it's closed up, and it's closed up, and it's closed up. Oh, there's wires coming out. Ooh, what's that? Put a little light on the subject. Well, there's a culprit. That's important. Let's fix that. You know, when they talk about a ground problem, I'd call that a ground problem. Oh, you know what? I give it better than a 50% chance that we're gonna break that screw when we try to back that thing out. But that's okay, we can fix that. All right, let's see if we can zip this thing out backwards. What did I say? I don't know. I didn't say I'd strip it. I said I'd break it. But you know what? Same thing. What is this? Oh, turns out it's this. Sorry, screw. Nope. Well, it was that. It's getting a new screw. All right, two things. I went back up to the box and I got one of these guys. That's what we need. And I got some sandpaper because aluminum is a wonderful conductor of electricity, but aluminum oxide, which is the stuff that forms on the outside, that's not such a good conductor of electricity, and it can actually cause you some problems. So we're just going to sand off the oxidation on here real quick. Kind of a belt and suspenders kind of approach. That way I know it works, because I really want this to work. All right, now it's shiny enough for what we're doing. And we'll just maybe do, that wire's kind of messed up. So we'll just make a fresh end. And now it's not messed up. I'll throw this on here. It's sticking out a little bit, but that's fine. We'll do that. That's good. And brought my silicone down. We'll give that a good squirt once it's all on there. Since that aluminum is so thick, how about a number 8? I got a tap. Okay, I've showed you this trick before, but if you're gonna take something long and make it short, it works really well to put a couple nuts on and then cut it, because when you back the nut off, it's going to go ahead and straighten out all those threads that were not so straight. All right, making little bolts out of big bolts all day. I think, I'm just guessing here. What do you think? That? Let's go for it. There you go. That's just what the doctor ordered. I think we did it. That's gorgeous. All right, so that's good there. That hole's in there. I'm gonna put a little thread locker on this thing just because we can. I mean, why not, right? Can't hurt. Put a little on me too. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. That's professional grade there. I talked about this earlier. We're gonna give that a squirt just for good measure. Let's give it a good squeeze. Squeeze on that end and squeeze on this end. There you go, pack that in there. That should just help keep any sort of water and goo out of there. Now let's see if that fixed it. Let me know if you see anything back there. This should be running lights. And this should be a turn signal. And this should be the other turn signal. You see anything? Hey, success, right? I'm just gonna leave that lid up there for a while because that makes me feel good. All that's left is to see if I can piece this wire loom back together and tape things up, make it pretty. I thought I had some wire loom up there in the mezzanine left over from something else in the past, but no, looks like I used it all up. So no new wire loom on this, but the good news is it's 3 inches shorter, so I think we'll be able to take the best of what we got and make it all work. There, just like that, we fixed it. Moral of the story, loose wires up front, and we had a ground problem. So it's kind of fun to be able to tell the story for father-in-law and neighbor in case they're curious how the trailer got fixed, and maybe just might help somebody else out there that's having problems with the lights on their trailer as well. All right, we'll see you next time.